Coach, series opening win, just your overall thoughts on today.
I thought it was a really good baseball game, kind of typical of a Friday, well-pitched game in college baseball. Kind of tell our guys we got to be able to win all styles of games, all types of games. And there was two really good starting pitchers on the mound today, two left-handers, which are really effective at our stadium. So we kind of knew it was going to be this type of game, and they were kind of out executing us early. They were stealing some bases, doing things. We had the bases loaded early, didn't get it done there, but we stayed in it. Lance was awesome for us on the mound. He just kept putting up zero after zero and only gave up the 2 runs. And if you can do that, you got a chance to win every day, obviously. And then Q came in and stemmed the tide until we got the big hits, and TJ got the double with 2 outs to tie it, and just keep fighting in the box, put the ball in play, and we scored on an infield single from second to take the lead, and Q slammed the door. So a quick, efficient, well-pitched, executing ball game, and we're pretty excited about winning that type of game.
Q, we'll start with you. 3 shutout innings. What were you seeing out there on the mound?
I mean, just trying to shove my stuff in the zone. Not really. I know my stuff's better than these guys. I felt that way. And coming after the week prior, I kind of danced around the zone a lot. So this one I was super confident in my stuff and just trying to go out and like just all 4 pitches in the zone and just let them work.
TJ, for you, you had the game tying hit. Just walk me through that at bat.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest part of that at bat was J. Lou beating out the double play. We got the review, he was safe, so that was huge. And then for me, I was just trying to put a good swing on the ball. I mean, my first 2 at bats, I felt like I was seeing it well. So, I mean, once I got my pitch in that 2-0 count, I stepped on it and it felt good. Yep.
Coach, going back to Lance, what about his repertoire today was successful?
Well, Lance is usually pretty good. Last weekend, opening day, maybe some nerves. He just walked 4 guys in 3 innings, which you never really see him do, hit 2 guys. So really just pounding the zone today. 2 walks over 6 innings is a big difference, and just minimizing the situations they have. They never really had a rally against them. They had the 1 inning with the 3 consecutive hits, but we made a great play on a relay. We communicated, and we backdoored the guy at first base. And these are little things that we practice a lot that steal you outs and keep you in the game. You know, if you're not talking and you're not a good defense, you might give up 3 runs in that inning. So what Lance did is he fights. You know, that's why we love him on Fridays, because you have to be willing to match the other team's best pitcher. And their guy was pretty good. You know, he went 112 pitches. He held us down for a long time, and we needed to stem the tide for as long as we could. And that he threw all those pitches for strikes, and he really battled for us today, Lance.
Q, for you, first win of the year. Just how does that get your juices flowing for the rest of this season?
I'm excited. That was being in this spot is a lot more fun than I guess like not pitching in big situations like I did as much last year. So like for me taking on a more important role on the staff and having success in it early is really exciting.
TJ, after your double, you ended up coming around on a tough play up the middle. Just kind of walk me through your mindset and what you saw when the shortstop had the ball.
Yeah, there was 2 outs. Honestly, the ball was behind me, so I was just looking at Coach the whole time, and he was waving me. So I just got on the gas and tried to get there as fast as I could because it was a close play home. But, yeah, that was it.
Coach, you touched on it, but how important is it to take game 1 of a 4-game series, especially knowing you have a doubleheader tomorrow?
Every game's important. It's early in the year right now, so we're just trying to kind of find who we are as a team. But, yeah, it's always nice to get off to a good start. We lost last Friday's game in another pitching battle 4-3, so this was basically the same type of game. And we just came through this time. I'm going to tell these guys we're a pretty good team, we think. I think our lineup's pretty good, which means we're going to have situation after situation where you're going to fail at some, you're going to succeed at some, and we just stayed in there. We really talked about it yesterday at practice. We stayed in the fight long enough to where we could do some damage, and we made them use some of their relievers, and we'll see. You know, you always, when you empty the tank like Q go in 3 innings, it's important to win because, you know, he's not going to be available tomorrow, so you know, we took our shot and it worked out for us there. So getting off to a good start's good, but it doesn't mean anything tomorrow morning. So we bounce back and we play another game.
Mateo didn't necessarily hit the ball far, but hit it hard today. Just how does that change their defense and their approach when they have to deal with stuff like that?
Yeah, Mateo's, yeah, he's in there to try and hit the ball over the fence. Like I've joked with him since August, you know, like you hitting singles doesn't help us any. And I guess I stand corrected because that one helped us a lot. But just trying to keep him in the mindset of what he's here to do. You know, he's here to be a threat for doubles and home runs, and he knows that. But this was his first start. Yeah, he was at St. Mary's 2 years ago. It's been a long time since he started a Division I game, so there's always something to that. But I thought he did well, and that at bat, it might not seem like he didn't do a great job, but it was 2 strikes. He really fought. He fell behind right away, 0-2, and he hit a ball kind of hard up the middle. And when you make teams make plays, for us, they didn't make the play in that spot, but it was a hard hit ball, and that's all we could ask for. But he's up there to be a threat, so we're happy we have him. That's for sure.
Jimmy necessarily didn't get a hit today, but he had some strong at bats. What did you see out of him?
Some theatrics after his walks too, but he hangs in there. He had a tough first at bat of chasing over his head, and their guy was doing a good job of just living at the top of the zone. And when you have a high fastball followed by a kind of 11-5, 12-6 breaker, it's hard to lay off elevated pitches, and it's easy to get mad at him. It's easy to say, what are we doing? But he hung in there, and he had that one at bat where he walked, where he fouled off probably 4 pitches up at his letters or higher. So it showed me, even though he was kind of getting out of his element, he was still good enough to get his bat on the ball and keep the at-bat going. And sometimes it's just those 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pitch at-bats that, the kid threw 112 pitches. So without those at-bats, he might still be in the game 1 batter longer, 2 batters longer. So they all matter. But I liked what I saw at him. He filled in, played a good third base today, and he's earned some at-bats.
Q, as a senior, to be able to have an opportunity like this so early in the season, how do you instill confidence in your teammates, especially your pitchers, throughout the rest of the year?
We all kind of have, I guess, our roles on the team are not cemented yet, and we're all kind of pulling for the same thing. We're all, I think they're all really good pitchers, and I think that everyone's gonna pull or throw in meaningful innings. So, I think it fires up the boys. I think they're all gonna go out there and shove their shit in the zone, shove their stuff in the zone, and go after them. I think it for sure instills that they can just attack them, and not dance around these hitters and go at them for the whole series and be confident doing that.
TJ, from a fielder perspective, what are you telling your guys in the dugout when you're trying to rally in the 7th or 8th?
Yeah, when we're in the field, we're always talking, we're always communicating. So, but in the dugout, we're always talking through our at-bats and figuring out an approach. Like he said, that guy was living at the top of the zone. He was kind of dotting up against us the whole time. So, once we knew we were going to get into that bullpen, we thought we had a pretty good chance. So just staying confident with our hitters the whole time was a big thing.
Coach, 2 more games tomorrow, a little bit of a shorter one in the second half. Just talk about your approach going into tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow we got Gabe taking the ball in the morning game, Gabe Barrett, and pretty confident in him filling up the zone and giving us a chance. But this team didn't fly out here just for a vacation. We got to match their energy. They were excited to be here. They were loud. They were in the game the whole time. So, and they're going to be coming off a loss. So it's going to be early rise, get after it. But I like our guys. I like what we got going with Barrett and Soberone starting the 2 games. Might see some similar type games, but I think our bats are there. We have good approach. I think we could try and wear these guys down a little bit in our at bats, but we'll see. We got to be ready for any type of game.